Okay, Pierre, let's get our act together. I really do need to figure out a way to... I need like 3 different layers of debris here in order to make this thing work. So I recently met with a pen collector friend of mine who traded for me some magic beans for a cow a couple of years ago, and then he wanted to do it again, kind of, sort of. And among the pens that he wanted, a Frankenpen dip pen thing from me for his calligraphy stuff, and he ended up asking me to make him one, and it's one of these things that has to take a good long while to do it. It's not just, I can't just press a button and add to shopping cart. I have to select the nib and the barrel and the whatever and make them all work together. And he gave me some pens that he wanted to sell that he wasn't using anymore to sell for him. And some of them I sold almost immediately, and some of them, one I wanted to keep, this one, and one I still have, this one. But now I own these because we settled up, and I gave him the pen and traded some of the pens for some of the pen he wanted from me for some of the pens that I had from him. So now this one belongs to me. And this one, even though it's been in my house for 2 years, because due to COVID and a hip replacement or something that he had, and then he sort of fell off the radar even before then, this was just in a little box with the pen I put together for him, and now I can call this my own as of yesterday. And this is a really cool Belmont pen made by either the Moore Company or Carter, according to an expert that told me that this factoid. And it was made to be sold through the Rexall stores. But what's neat about this particular pen, it's fat and kind of short. And it's really cool. It's a very interesting shape, proportion. And it has a rather nice sort of flexible nib. And if I had 50 Belmont nibs that I could choose from, would I change this nib for a stubbier one maybe? Maybe I would, I don't know. The nib does seem a little tiny bit flimsy, which makes me think that Moore was the company that made this rather than Carter. Carter nibs are really pretty good. Moore nibs are pretty flimsy. And this has a slight, when I say flimsy, I mean it in the best way. How can flimsy be good? How can I change this? They just have a slight, I don't want to say shyness, but I always feel that they might break on me. More nibs are quite often broken in the back where they're shoved into the pen. There's stress cracks that happen. And I think the pens are just, the gold is thinner. So all over the nib. So you end up getting these little stress cracks. So this feels like a Moore nib rather than a Carter nib. So anyway, I'm happy this is now in my collection. I only have maybe 5 or 6 other Belmont pens. and I kind of like them. This is another pen that I now own because we settled up our differences in terms of money versus pens versus trade. And I almost sold this a few times, and I might still sell it. It's a Skyline, and the Skyline has, it does have a little tiny bit of a flaw. It has somewhere from between here and here, and I suspect in sort of this area, the pen has a sort of banana shape. So when you're screwing the cap on, the the end of it sort of wiggles, as you can see. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me when the cap is on. It doesn't bother me when it's in my hand. It doesn't bother me when it's in my pocket. It's just, you just notice it really when you screw the cap on. You see it sort of wiggle. It sort of has that little shimmy, and that's kind of nice. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't remember whether this was the original nib in it, but I think it might have been, because I don't think I would have swapped it out. It has a nice rubbery nib. I was going to find a nice Jewish boy. No, I was going to find a nice artist guy to sell this to, nice artist sketcher. But I'm a nice artist sketcher. I'm not a Jewish boy, but I'm a nice lapsed Lutheran. No, we were talking about dating and stuff the other day, and we were talking about mothers who like to play matchmakers to their children. And that was one of the comments that stuck in my brain. So, am I being sexist or racist or anything by saying that? I will state right here now that not all Jewish boys are nice. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm sure that is a fact, right? Anyway, back to this pen. The fact that this pen has a slight waviness to it would bother some people. If a Eversharp pen collector came into the Boston Pen Show where I had a table and looked at this pen, they might say, "This Eversharp is warped." And if I was as rude as they were, I could say, "You have big, ugly ears with hair growing out of them." But because I'm polite, I'm a nice lapsed Lutheran guy, I would not say that. I would say, well, I'm sure you can find an Eversharp Skyline pen that doesn't have that distinct warp to it somewhere else in the room if you'd like. Pen people can really be rude. Pen collectors, people that are buying pens from you, they might say something like, let's pretend this didn't have that little warp in it. They might say something like, "How much is this pen?" And I'd say, whatever the price is. Let's say I said $75. Well, the guy over there is selling them for $50. Well, then go to the guy over there. I'm not stopping you. Yeah, but his pen doesn't have a nice nib. Okay, well, do the math. You can buy the pen with the ugly nib over there for $50, or you can buy the pen with the nice nib right here for $75. So have fun deciding. So Joshua, I'm just saying hello to some new pens. And I've had this pen for 2 years, but now I own it. I was trying to sell it to someone and sell it for someone. And we ended up doing the math, and this is a new one that I may sell or I may not. I don't know. Another new one that I have not yet purchased, but this guy wants to sell it, is this pen, which is a nice, beautiful Waterman 3V pen. Yes, that same rude man that talked about my warped pen would also point out that the little band is missing. And I could say something like, what could I say? Well, this is a married guy that's separated from his wife and the ring is missing. He's taken off the ring. You know, it was a messy divorce. He took off the ring. And someone might say, oh, that's a funny story, Pierre. The ring is missing. Well, okay, I can come up with another story. I don't know. What story do you want? I'm not charging you for the ring. I'm removing the price of the ring from the price of the pen. So if you want to buy the pen without the ring, you're welcome to do it. So let's just make up a fun story. Hello, Schiavello. I got your text. Thank you. So this pen without a ring, I described this earlier when I was making the say hello to my new pens video, but I forgot to press the record button or go live or whatever it is. So it's never was recorded. And I was thinking about, the men you see at the airport, and they have their tanned fingers with their hairy knuckles and stuff, and you see this little bit of a band right there where there used to be a red wedding ring, and it's not there anymore because they took it off. And we can still see you're lying. You took it off. It's in your pocket, I can tell, because you just took it off, because this is light pink skin, and this is gnarly, nasty pink skin, darker. So I'm just saying hello to some of the new pens. So this is a new one that I will sell without the ring. And at some point, it has a really nice Waterman nib, nice springy nib to it. I don't know why I'm not posting pens these days. Maybe because I know I'm going to put them back immediately. And I did get another 2 pens from this guy to try to sell, but one I think I've already sold, so I'm not going to bring it out. And the other one I don't think I can sell because there's too many things wrong with it. The barrel is not broken, but the cap has a crack in it and the nib is broken. So it's something I have to sell in person in front of someone, and I can point out the problems that it has. So I'm going to text you back, Schiavello, just so I know. Hi. Okay. Now, what was another pen I just decided I wanted? This is a pen that's in a drawer full of pens, and I get to fix it. I was just trying it out to see, do I want to buy this from myself, or do I want to sell this to someone? I think I can sell this one. I think I have one like this. I'm still hungry. I don't have any food here. I do have food here, actually. I could consume something, but I do have to go to the post office, so I'm just waiting to do that. Oops, I just went through the wet ink here. Yeah, pens, pens that are less perfect are pens that many of people that use the pens, especially that use the pens outside of the house, prefer to take with them to do their drawing or their writing. So they really come in handy. I have a yellow Duofold in mint condition with a price sticker that has a beautiful flexible nib on it, and it's in a glass case. It's one of the few pens I have that I can't actually easily get to, and it's fine right where it is. Oh, so we had a nice morning chat here talking about olden days and houses that are large, and houses that exist in the still and houses that don't. So Schiavello, are you rebuilding that house, or are you not? The one that burned. I have a Union Jack. I don't want to say it's paper mache, but it is paper, and I do sculpture, Schiavello. That's maybe you might want to buy it. And it's I did a series. I don't know if I can easily find it to take a picture of it. I don't think I threw it away. I hope I didn't. But it's a Union Jack, and it's done in paper with ink gouache on it. Did I say Peter? I meant Parker. Or is someone else come into the room? P. Schiavello is Parker Schiavello. I may have said Peter by mistake, but I know I have in the past by mistake. I could have done it just now, for which I apologize. Anyway, I'll take a picture of some of the I did a series called Drapery Studies, and one of them is flags. And I have a couple of the flags still. Some of them I've thrown out because they got dinged around too much. And the Union Jack is, I think, still around. I don't think I threw that one out. I like this little pen. This was in my sale bin too, but this one was growing on me. Yes, it has problems. It has a little pitting right here, but it goes well with my complexion. This one needs a sack in it. Face palm. I think I added you, Joshua, on my Facebook page. I think I sent you a Facebook friend add to thing, or responded to your Facebook thing. So unless there's another Joshua Schroeder in the world that sent me something, or that I don't know how it all works. I get notices on Instagram. You might know this person, and it's someone that I've never heard of before, and sometimes they are people. Your friends on Facebook. So, it might be you. I believe it is you, but when I look at my Facebook, sometimes I'm half asleep. Okay, Pierre. Why is this pen here? It's really fine. So Schiavello, you still here? You're still here? Want to join me and Joshua, do you want to join me? You haven't had coffee yet, so. One of the things I would like to do, and I've been doing it badly myself, is, when we have, it would be nice that when we have 3 heads talking, or 3, let's say here's our shared screen here, our StreamYard screen, and it's divided into 3. I like it if it's possible, if we can get all of our heads sort of the same size, rather than, someone way back there and someone really big here and someone else sort of in the middle. And just so we don't overpower each other. And the other thing is, when we are looking down at our hands, it would be nice if there'd be a way where we can sort of make them all scale more or less the same. Just because it's hard on my little eyes to, keep focusing on small and big and whatever. I'm trying not to be too directorial, but it's kind of nice when we can have it be more even. Why did this pen have a big leak on it? I wonder. You're like E.E. Cummings, no caps. See, my head is way too big on this screen. That's kind of the right size for a head. I'm still hungry. What should I do? It's only 9 o'clock. I should eat something. Do I even have something to eat? I can eat a piece of bread, maybe. That would hold me over. I'm looking down here at my Tim Plant. So what I need to do is find something that I can clamp this thing on. It's nice also, when we're when we do have heads talking and we're having a conversation, it's kind of neat to not look down at my paper with me just doodling. It'd be nice to have Joshua over here. Schiavello over there. I guess I'm always on the left side. Schiavello has to be in the middle. Since he's our maitre d', inviting people in and out. I just, for my own taste in looking at someone, when the camera is coming from the light bulb that is the computer, I hate that. I try to set this camera up so that if I am looking at the camera, making a recording with my face in the picture, I try to have it so that there's not so much a bright light. Okay. Is Schiavello still in the room? No answer from Schiavello. Joshua, when you do set up, is your camera connected to your computer screen, or are you broadcasting using your phone or something? Because if you do, I would like to watch a close-up of your hand writing on the paper and how you write, because if you are interested in me finding some pens for you, I would like to sort of see how you hold the pen and sort of writing you do, because that might help me in figuring out what you might like. Schiavello must have left. I don't think I offended Schiavello. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I couldn't make, using a piece of wood. I had a piece of wood here for this purpose. And where did I put it? It's right here. Is this piece of wood strong enough to hold this? It is. It's wide enough. So where can I put this then, where it can function? a C-clamp. Well, it's just a webcam on your computer, so it's on the lid of the computer. Yeah, using a phone, I find that I can, hand hold the phone steady enough so that I can get a nice close-up of the come on, this is just a little bit too short. Close-up of the writing and the nib and the pen. I guess this is as wide as it gets. Now, so where am I going to put this? I'm going to put this there. Is that going to be helpful? No. I think I can do this. No, that's going to be a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, here. Let's see. What else can we do for this? Can I put it there? This is here. There's a pen. Oh, there you are. Schiavello. You back? What I'm trying to do is figure out how to make this thing a little tiny bit more do I want this here? Is this better on this side? No, that's not going to be better. Hey, Nello. How are you, Nello? I'm trying to figure out a way where I can include more perches that my little clampy thing can go, so I can move it around a bit more easily, so that if I want to be located in a slightly different desk area or different view, to mix it up a bit, to mix it up. I've got a job to do. I have to entertain, One of the things I'm trying to do is figure out a way where I can have the camera aiming down, where I can control what's happening on the interface here, inviting people in and cut and pasting the link without having to move all of my ink and my pens and my book. Is that possible? I'm trying to think whether that's even possible. Hello? So let me see. How can this work? If I raised my computer by that much, this little thing could more easily be placed. So I'm going to see if I can lift up my computer while it's plugged into everything. See if I can add a little piece of plywood down there. First of all, is this piece going to hold this? Yes, it holds it okay. Right? Good. Okay. If I okay. Schiavo. Goodbye. Thank you for We'll see you tonight, maybe. Okay, let me lift this up. Put this down. No. Yes. No. Disaster waiting to happen. There we go. Perfect. 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 Almost perfect. 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 It's only raised up by a little tiny bit. I'm going to put this sort of back where it was. Do I want to have it slightly turned? Would that help me? Not necessarily. Okay, how much of a lip let's work on? That's okay. Right? Right. I love you too, Schiavello. So you can, disaster. I want this over here like that. This. Come back up here. Good. This can come back over here. Good. Right? We like this? Go there. Perfect. Okay, I need something for my ink. A tray that I can move. It's just for ink. I had one right here. Ink tray. Does this fit here? Will this fit here? It does fit. Okay, good, good. So far, so good. Ink. Dirty water. Ink. 5 people are in the room. Pen. Put you back down here where you were before. I think that will be my default location. Somewhere in my house here, I have another extension cord for my camera cable, I think. And I think that would be kind of fun, because I could drag you kicking and screaming further afield. Hello. You're up late today?
I'm not going to go in.
Okay, okay. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm going to head up to New Hampshire.
Okay.
I just thought have you been outside?
It's very cold outside.
So,
I have to go to the post office today. Are you going to take the bus into the station?
probably.
Well, when you go, let me know. Are you going to go before noon or?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Hi, how are you? Happy New Year and everything. I've been okay. Um, I'm, I think it's, with the election and maybe taking the virus seriously instead of hiding under the bed. People are hiring me again, so it's good. It's good. It's good to know you. And people are just saying there's a couple of things that I had that were planned to happen, and they didn't happen because of COVID, of course. And some of the people are just they got married anyway without a ceremony. And other people are just saying we're going to do it anyway, whether everyone can come or not. We don't want to put everything on hold. So anyway, so back to your bride to be, and so the two. Um, do you have anything to say about the options I sent you? Yeah, yeah. Yes. Way back a long time ago, it was very modern looking. It looked sort of like one of the ones you sent recently that was sort of monochromatic, and it had sort of blobs of color representing flowers. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can find it here. The 23rd inbox. Um, 23rd. Yeah, I'm just scrolling down 20. I have to go to flower styles, potential. Okay, great. So you sent me, yes. Oh, that does have a border. Okay, it's a very light border, but it is a border. Now, but this is how I would describe this uh, thing. You have a rectangle in the middle that has the text on it, and sort of behind it or underneath it is some flowers. And the flowers emerge from behind that, going toward the edges of the paper. And they don't go off the paper, they're contained within the piece of paper that it's printed on. Where some of the other ones you were showing showed the flowers coming in from off the paper. There was a bleed off the paper. So that's how I would describe the two. So here, because the text is within the border, if the border weren't there, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So you're imagining the text box and the background of the flowers are the same color. Okay. And you want there to be flowers. So if this gray box or whatever color this box is weren't that color or weren't there, you'd see some flowers further in toward the text. Yeah.
She, I'll tell you what date it was.
Okay.
Okay, so January 27th.
Okay. Let me go back to 27.
Kate Water Flower Style.
27. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Yes.
So the second image.
Okay. The first one, the second image, yep.
So you see how the leaves sort of extend into
Yes.
the text box?
Yeah. And some of them go below the text box. I mean, some of the image goes behind that white box too. Okay.
Yeah, but okay. So this may, okay. So we'll have to figure this out because in the image above it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a big box. Yeah.
Yes. Now she loves those flowers. That's the
Yeah.
flowers that she wants.
Okay.
The orange part would be more blush.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the border a little less orange.
Okay.
So now that border is watercolorish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm interpreting this that she likes that border.
Yeah.
Not the color.
Yeah.
She likes those flowers.
But different color. Yeah.
Yeah. But then she would like a little bit of it to
Dribble over the front.
over the
Yeah.
border.
Yeah. Okay. All of that's doable. I mean, I can do that. This is how I would further describe this piece, though. At no time does any of the flowers go off the page. It looks like they're all contained within the page.
Yeah.
So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's all within the page. So it'll, and then the border, the flowers appear to be, it's almost like you had a piece of paper and you put some flowers on it, and the flowers don't go off the piece of paper, and then on top of that bouquet or that pile of flowers you put another piece of paper that will have the text, and a couple of leaves and stuff would dribble over the top of that piece. So the concern is whenever you put any sort of border, whether it's just a single line and there's no flowers, there's just a box that has lettering in it, you always have to push the lettering further in from that. So that's the concern that I have. That's where I wanted you to measure the box. So if you have, so anyway, that's the concern I have. Is just if you do a mock-up of the invitation text, you put a line around it, a border around it, and then set that inside of another border that will have the flowers painted on it. Then you'll see how small the text is going to have to be to fit.
Yeah, I don't think we want that.
So that's the concern. Yeah. If going back to that first one, on one of the ones you sent me, if I can find one of them, there was no border at all. I mean, there was no lined border. The text was sort of.
Let's stick to the images we're looking at now and the inspiration.
Okay. So that they all have borders. They all have a border. So inside of the border is going to go the text. And you can't have the text go right up to the border. You have to have a little bit of breather room there. So I need to know is the size of that. I think what you have to do is mock up the text and just see, with just your type on your thing to see how small you want it to be. And at some point you're going to say this is going to be too small and we have to make it bigger, or we have to lose the border. Right. So that's, yeah.
Are you still on the email from the 27th?
I just closed it, but I can reopen it. Yeah. I just have to find it here. Flower Styles 27. Yep. I think. Yep.
Okay.
Oops. Just a minute. I lost it. I'm using a different one, I guess. Where did it go? Let me go back to the 27. Kate, order flower styles. Okay. Why can't I see the pictures? Oh, there they are. They just didn't load up. Okay. Yep.
Okay, the border on the top image is wider than the border
Yeah.
on the bottom. I think to help us, let's not worry about making that border as wide.
Okay. Thinner. Okay.
And I think that if it's okay with you, I would go ahead and do a rough sketch
Okay.
of what we just talked about.
Okay.
And I'll explain to her
Okay.
the ramifications of the different things that we do. You
Okay.
know, that, you know,
Okay.
we don't want the text, we have to be mindful of the space that we have for it.
Okay. So if you looked at the one that I sent you before, the 2 flower border one, if you just look at that, I mean, I'll do something that looks prettier than this, but this was just for your benefit. If you see the 2 flower border that I sent that had the garish green, you know, you see the green, the one on the left has a border, a ruled line with flowers on it. And you see the text lines in gray have to fit nicely within that. And the one on the right, which doesn't have that border, you have more room to the left and right for the text to go. So, and I could, I can make the flower arrangement smaller. It doesn't have to be a bleed off the page, but any sort of border, regardless of what size it is, whether it's thin or thick, is still you're going to have to put the text within that border and have it be moved in from the line that it's made. So it always constricts the thing, So, I mean, just think of any invitation you've designed that's just text. And if you were to take it to the paper cutter and trim it down, at some point it looks like it's getting too close to the letters. And that's sort of what we're doing here. We're putting a plain invitation that's just text on top of a frame with flowers. So, whereas the other one would be like you have a typical invitation with all sorts of white space around it, and you want me to draw flowers on top of that invitation. I'm able to draw flowers and fill up this empty space without crowding it. So it's a 2 different ways of thinking about it.
If it was up to me, I would go with the one on the right, but everything she's showing me is like the one on the left.
Okay. Well, let me see let me do this. Let me come up, can you send me, I realize this isn't going to be her name and everything, but can you send me an image of sort of the kind of text you imagine this to have? I mean, has she told you the text?
Oh, I sent you the text from her sister.
Yeah, but that might not be the one that she's using. She might want, okay, but that was all left justified, right? Was that?
Right. So just
sent? Well, I can take that image and sort of try to center it as easily as I can. I just want to, I just want to plop that down onto the drawing I do, and give you the 2 options, I guess, or what I think you thinks she wants. Try to make it work. Okay. Well, if you have the text already, I can just cut and paste it into a Word document and then center it. So, and certainly things are going to be different font and different type, but at least I'd know. If her name is, Caitlin Weatherby Somerset something or rather, that's a big long name. So that has to fit, in one line. So it would be handy to have that text if you have it. and things can change. The date and the place can the address that. It just would be nice for me to see how much text it's going to be to be able to do this.
I'll send you as much as I can for now.
Okay.
You can plug that in.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate it very much. I know that this is always difficult when we're looking at so many different formats, and I see things as an artist. I see things differently than you might see them or she might see them. I see invisible space that can't be too crowded, and so yeah. Yeah, I mean, I should be able to kind of mock it up a little bit, but it's mainly, I mean, what I'd like to do here without necessarily getting out the watercolors and stuff, just penciling it in and saying these are going to be the flowers, these will be the colors you want, but it's going to either fit like this with a border or not. It looks, I have another call coming in, Arlene, so send me the text and I'll work on, oh shit, oops, hello, anyway, if you send me the text, I'll be happy to go to part 2 of this thing. Okay, great. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Bye. 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 Osni, what did you say? Pierre, can I do a request on pens? Yes. Tell me the pens you want me to scribble with, if you're even still here. Is anyone still here? I'm sorry about that. A senior and a special. A special duofold junior is the length of a senior, but the width of a junior. But I don't know if I have a special, but I will get a senior and a junior. Okay, here are 3 duofolds. When I was talking on the phone with my client, did you hear any of the conversation, Osni or Joshua? Did you hear her conversation? You could hear mine, I don't care, but did you hear hers? Here is a senior and a junior flat top duofold. This is a duofold special, which is the length of a senior, but the width of a junior. So the barrels were longer. I haven't used this pen in years. In terms of posting them, this is what these 2 look like posted. And the duofold special posted, oops, this is missing a nib, looks like that. Specials are relatively rare, so I don't know whether you're going to find one easily. This is kind of a stub nib on this one. I find the juniors really comfortable. Seniors I find to be a little fat. I sometimes use these, though, to put dip pen nibs in. So, Osni, did you, my breakfast, did you hear the woman's conversation? Good. Thank you. Thanks, Joshua. Her client, sorry. Her client wants flowers on an invitation. So if this is the piece of paper of the invitation, she wants the flowers to sort of be in each corner with the text of the invitation going down like that. And on one of them, one of the things we were talking about is she wanted to have this border going around it. Well, if you put a border with the flowers behind it, you then have to move, the text has to be moved inside of the border. When it doesn't have a border, you have more room. So I was just trying to get that across. 452. The length of the senior posted. I'll find out. sorry, a 452 and a 52 are the same length. So here's a 52 posted is that big. A duofold senior posted is, they're almost the same. When they're posted. When they're not posted, they are the same. They're almost the same too. They're just, this is shorter by about the width of that band. Schaefer seniors are a little shorter than a duofold senior. Do you have any other pens you want me to draw with, Osni? My 494. Here's the 494, which is, I think they're the same size as a 52 or a 452. No, they're a little shorter. Okay, well, so here's the Schaefer Senior Waterman 494, and here's a Parker Black Giant. This is the biggest pen that Parker made. And I put a dip pen nib in it because I didn't have a Parker nib. What do you think about this boy? Nello. This is a big pen, and it has a crack right here. These two bands are here to keep the crack from spreading any further. But it's a lovely pen. eye drop filler. Yeah, it's a lovely nib. I don't know who made it, but lovely pen. You know, you might just was trying to think of, you might like the Schaefer pen company made a, I think this is a thinner pen than a senior. Can't tell now, they all starting to look alike. Anyway, here's the, you want me to write with this one? Yes, you want, what do you want me to write? Pierre loves Nello. Oops. Little heart, and a little arrow going through. Me love so much. Well, it's lovable. Uh-oh. Someone just sent me a text. Tim Plant. Actually, Matt, I have to sit at the gallery today, I think, at 12. So I'll go out earlier. Matt? Okay. I'll go at 11. Well, yeah, I'll go in an hour. Put on layers and layers and layers. It's very cold here today. Nello. Huh. My favorite part of this pen are the raised threads. I'm getting focus. Okay.
that's very. I mean, that's very. I mean, this the text seems very formal, very formal, formal. The addition of Grimm's parents. So it's best to have the complete text. So we know how much room it will take up.
I'm sorry, I get distracted by emails here. So, Milton, you okay? Good. Oh, good. So, Joshua, let me send you the link, and I do have to leave shortly, but I want to see if this works, so we can do it later. So let me invite you and figure out how to do it. Okay, copy to clipboard, copy, edit, paste. There you go. You have new pens. Yeah, I'll show you what they are, Bartholomew. It's frigidly cold today, and I'm about to go out to the post office to mail your pens. I filled out the label, so it's ready to go. So you in Brussels will have new pens at some point. Once I get the cost of the postage and stuff, I can send you an email with the invoice or something. Okay, Joshua. Okay, Joshua, you are added. Except I don't see you yet. Yeah, that's a beautiful, oh, device not connected, it says. Oops, I don't know if you went away. I don't think I banned you or anything. What wall set are we talking about? Is my camera showing a wall set? Oh, there we are, Joshua. There you go. Add to stream.
There we go.
Oh, good. So
There we go.
I see you're fumigating there. That's good.
Yes, I am. It's my vape. Sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. So this is good. So this is your phone on a...
No, this is my computer on my webcam.
Okay. But it's a detached webcam. You're not just
Yes.
looking... Okay, oh, good, good. Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah. I'm just looking at what Nello is writing. Well, you hold the pen perfectly well. It looks like you're not doing anything weird. And you're writing relatively small. Is that how you normally write?
Space for paper, money's a thing, anyways. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's good. And you use the pen mainly for writing words, journaling
Yes.
and stuff. Okay, not drawing or calligraphy.
Correct.
Okay, good. I mean, all of that is important to know, so that I can. Now, do you press down a lot? Do you think? Are you a? If you were to just rest the pen on the whatever this part of your hand is called, and sort of just pull the pen across, does it make a line?
Oh yes. It just.
Okay.
It,
So
I mean,
you're pressing down pretty hard to get
No.
those.
no, not at all. I
Well,
mean,
they're
to
not
get
there,
the, to get the lines, yes.
Okay,
Get lines
yeah.
like that, I do. But
Yeah.
but generally
you-
speaking,
Okay. Do you always press down that hard, or there
No.
you go. That's light. Okay, good. I mean, sometimes people that I sell a pen to don't go 3 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour. They just start at 10, and they go
No,
to
I-
20, or something. So
I adjust to whatever I'm writing with.
oh, good.
It's
good.
like I believe me, do not want to trash any pens.
Well, no, they're not necessarily trashing, but even someone like Marilyn was, I think of her as having a heavier hand, I think, than she actually does. But maybe she's writing so that, I can see better because the camera is about a mile above her desk. So, it's really nice for me to know. Like, for example, if this pen here, normally I would think people would press down this much to use this pen. But when I'm doing calligraphy with it or drawing with it, I really lift up on the pen a lot more than most people do. So as long as you seem to know how to and do sometimes lift up the pen from the page, it's really good to know, because I know that that if I had a really, really, really fine, slightly flexible nib, that you wouldn't break it. And
Yeah,
I know
I'm
that
not trying to break.
I know that you're a more aware person than most, but I just want to. So you passed that test there, Joshua.
Thank
Good. So you don't. Yeah. No. You seem to have a very light touch when you want to.
And also, I have multiple sclerosis,
Uh-huh.
and it affects hands very badly. So writing heavy with my hands
Yeah.
very quickly hurts.
Okay.
So
Okay. Oh, good. So
Yeah.
you're a lighter touch in general. So
Yeah.
that's. I think that's always better to have than the heavy-handed person. And there's a guy that Indian author who I did a YouTube video with a month or two ago. He writes with a really broad nib, and it looks like he presses down a lot. And but it's hard to tell because the
broad.
nib is so broad to begin with. But
This one is, oh gosh, let me get on the right page. Okay, then is, oh god, really? You gotta focus, you
yeah,
fuck.
focus. Yeah.
That's a noodler's triple tail.
Okay.
Same thing as a Neponset tip, same
Yeah,
feed, just it's not ebonite. So
No.
it doesn't cost $75. It
No.
costs $45.
Yeah.
But it is so easy to go from 0 to 100 without hardly any pressure for me.
Oh, good.
I mean, this one I generally hold very lightly like that.
Okay, neat. I like your little pinky. You do the little pinky thing too, which is I like to see. Nello, did you ever show me how you write? Nello? I can't remember. Oh, you have to go? Okay, Nello has to go.
I know.
And I have to leave here too soon because I have to bring pens to the post office. So, but I like this setup.
I mean, but yes, I tend to, my hand is supported.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a really one of my smaller pens, like this. In which case, I do have to because it's just so short. But it's fine. I make it work. But again, even that, it's still resting on my pinky on that first knuckle, and then I write.
Okay. I have a question for you. Is there a way where you could aim the camera so it shows more of the bottom of the page rather than your keyboard? There. Yeah, like that. Good. I mean, it's just if it can stay steady.
I'm getting it to.
Okay.
It's on the same boom as my microphone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I mean, I stream. That's what I do with my times. I don't work because of disabilities.
Okay.
I'm set up for that.
Okay. Well, this is a better angle for us to see. And again, if there's 3 people in the room side by side, then you're cropped from left to right. And then when you're 4 people, then it gets wider. But so there's always a little bit of jiggling. But if there's a way where people who are showing their hand and their pen and their writing, to have it be as centered in the square as you can. I know that I'm very bad at it because my piece of paper is bigger than the screen, and I sometimes go off the edge a lot, but cool. Well, thank you, Joshua. I do have to go. Oh, Darsex is saying hello. Hello, whoever you are. Darsh XX.
And this is a broad nib, so
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing fine about this nib at all.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Well, sometimes it's just as long as I know that you have the ability and the desire and whatever to write very softly, then you haven't narrowed at all the pens that I would want to sell you. You keep it fully expanded, whereas some people who write very heavily, I would never suggest certain pens for them.
No.
So it's just, not so much that they'd break them, but if they're not going to take advantage of a fine line or a really broad line, if they get a flexible nib, why do I? If these nibs grew on trees, I wouldn't care. But there's only so many out there, vintage pens, and I'd rather have them go to the right person.
I
You
mean,
know,
this one has absolutely no flex. It's a medium, but it's like,
well, it has. There seems to be a difference between the nib might be slightly shaped. So
it's a Yovo. That's a Yovo nib that
I don't know. I
got,
don't know
like,
what. Yeah, I don't know.
it's a modern, very modern. It's not gold.
Yeah.
It is stiff as a nail.
Yeah. But your side strokes seem lighter, thinner than the downstrokes.
Oh yeah, they tend to be.
So the there is a shape to the nib, I guess, that causes that. If it's not the pressure.
A little bit. I did have to tune the nib just a hair on this one.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I don't have to tune a nib, I don't care if it's a touch scratchy. If it's I work with what I have.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, that's also good.
I mean, especially something that's older than my grandma, who's sitting in a box in the closet.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, you have to let her out sometimes. She needs to get that exercise. Anyway, Joshua, I do have to go.
Okay.
So
have a good day
for this. Let's remember how you set this up. I like your. Yep. I like your smoke screen there. It reminds me of those cheesy Frankenstein movies. I know that you're not doing it for my effect. You're doing it for health reasons and pain reduction and stuff. But it's still neat. Yeah. So, okay. Well, you be good. Right. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.